Can I take a moment to ask you just one or two questions about the future of the Dominican Republic and the whole Caribbean area?
Mientras aquí en el Caribe hayan dos bandoleros internacionales, Fidel Castro y Rómulo Betancourt, habrá inquietud y peligro en el Caribe.
Do you think any meeting at the Caribbean Summit would do anything to reduce tensions in the Caribbean?
Una reunión del Caribe. No creo. No creo.
He doesn't
No creo.
believe that. No.
Fidel Castro es un loco.
Fidel Castro is a crazy man. He's a madman. He's just unreliable, really, in other words.
Y él dice que para que la revolución cubana triunfara tiene que conquistar Santo Domingo.
And Fidel Castro said that for the Cuban Revolution to be a complete success, it has to be destroying our government and our country.
No lo va a conquistar nunca.
And he'll never realize that dreams of him.
How about the economic progress of and the future of the Dominican Republic in 20, 25 years from now?
República Dominicana, que es un país pequeño, que en el año 30, cuando yo ascendí al poder, tenía un presupuesto de 9 millones, ahora lo tiene 150 millones.
His Excellency said that
Tal vez 200 millones.
His Excellency said that all of the Dominican Republic is a very small little country. That when it became in power, there was have a budget, national budget of 7 million. Now we have a budget of 150, and probably, very sure, will go as high as 200.
Y que pagamos la deuda externa.
And that we have paid the external debt, so we don't have any external debt.
Y ya dentro de 25 años yo habré desaparecido.
And naturally, he expects. And we have not that within 25 years, he'll be gone, at least from the political...
Yes. Y no creo que ellos, los dominicanos, quieran trabajar hacia atrás. Siempre de frente.
And he's sure and positive...
No creo que sean tan pendejos para trabajar hacia atrás.
He's sure that the Dominican people will not go back. That since this period of prosperity and hard working, they wouldn't go back, they go forward.
They will go forward.
Yes.
So consequently, the future of the Dominican Republic is very bright.
Do you think that we in the United States have been unfair in our attitudes toward the Dominican Republic in the press or other ways?
Si usted considera que la actitud de los Estados Unidos, sobre todo en la cuestión de la prensa y la actitud del gobierno, ha sido desfavorable para nosotros.
Siempre.
Always.
Después de la muerte de Roosevelt, Correjor, todos han sido enemigos de él.
After the death of President Roosevelt, as well as Secretary, everybody who have come into power in the United States have been our enemies.
Todo contrario, todo.
Generalissimo, do you resent the word dictator?
No. Yo soy un trabajador. Y mi pueblo sabe eso.
His Excellency said that he doesn't resent that word whatsoever, because what he is a hard-working man, and the people and our country, our citizens knows that he's a hard-working man. So consequently, what he's done is the benefit for the country.
Eso es una especulación de los enemigos.
This word of dictator is a speculation word created by his enemies.
Generalissimo, can you imagine any circumstances in which the Dominican Republic would invade any other Caribbean country?
¿De aquí para allá? Jamás.
From here
La Constitución Dominicana lo prohíbe.
From here to any country, impossible, because the first thing is this, our Constitution forbids that we do intervene in any foreign country.
Well, of all the things you've done in the last 30 years, Generalissimo, what are you proudest of?
Las obras que más me enorgullecen a mí son aquellas que favorecen a los pobres.
His accomplishments that make him more prouder are the ones that have been for the benefit of the poor classes.
Is he concerned about the threat of communism? Is it a real threat?
Es una amenaza real, pero no me preocupa a mí.
His
Porque
Excellency,
cada vez que se meten conmigo, los voy a batir y llevarán el polvo de la derrota aquí en todo.
Excellency said that nationally it is a threat for the Caribbean, but not for this country, because every
Morderán el
time,
polvo de la derrota aquí.
because if they ever dare to come here, they'll swallow the dust of the route. I mean, they'll be routed and with the dust of disaster.
What about American attitudes and behavior toward Latin American countries?
Yo no quiero meterme en las cuestiones americanas. Es Norteamérica. Lo han hecho muy mal.
His Excellency doesn't want to go any further in these affairs of because you have done a very bad job.
A fellow who owns the country, the cattle, and the cars gets used to owning the report. And if the questions begin to warm up a little, why bother with no comment? You just walk away. But later, while frolicking around his hacienda and petting his prize livestock, the benefactor sounded off in several directions, some of them interesting in light of future development. Retirement. You'll know I've retired when you hear that I'm dead. The Cuban sugar quota. Unfair. The problems of his regime. There are no problems, economic problems here in our country now, whatsoever. The U.S. hasn't made a right move since Roosevelt and Hull left the scene. But neither expansive on-camera performances, nor reassurances in the press, nor denunciations of other Latin American figures could hide the fact that the tough little Caribbean Caesar was up against it as never before. At the moment these pictures were made, the bitter tea of revolution was brewing. Object? Get Trujillo. CBA put on a spontaneous solidarity parade, urging the Generalissimo, and only the Generalissimo, to run for president in 1962, the year he has promised free election. At the peak of the national sorrow and unrest, he put himself within pot-shot of his people. The demonstration was promptly boycotted by the priests, including the papal ambassador, and by 3/4 of the foreign diplomatic corps, including the United States ambassador. How long can Trujillo last? Predictions are not our business. But one source within his government said not even a Trujillo can survive another major shock. So far, a loyal army and secret police, always the key, has kept the order, if not the peace. To our certain knowledge, the decimated underground is now without arms, without much organization, but not without hope. As one of them told us, after all, we are only a heartbeat from freedom. Even pessimists talk in terms of months instead of years. But the toughest question of all, after Trujillo, what? If dictatorship creates a vacuum, what fills it and how? For in the classic tradition, Trujillo has made no plan for a tomorrow without himself. Two versions of the future. From Manuel de Moya,
He has shown to us what a man can do for a country that are more or less used to, and not only used, but we feel that we need a man of his caliber to guide us all the time.
and Herman Orne.
I don't think that the Dominicans will want a strong man any longer. I think that the only alternative to the Trujillo regime eventually will have to be a democratic regime, a regime of freedom.
And from inside Trujillo's palace, Robert Johnson is realistic. What do you think's going to happen here when the chief retires or if he should die? A lot of people have tried to answer that question and don't know the answer. Think you do?
No, I don't either.
No one knows. But Dominican dungeons are filled with men who are willing to die to find the answer. For them, what follows Trujillo must not be a Castro, communist, or another Trujillo. And surely the tides of recent history must have shown Americans that we can no longer regard events in the Caribbean as a spectator sport. Good night.